Okay, and you're live.
Awesome, awesome.
Hi, Lee.
Good morning, Tina, or good evening, Tina. Sorry, I have to time shift my greeting.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's great. How are you?
I am well. Thank you so much for asking.
Do you want me to do links today, or are you good?
Um, we've got Megan in,
Okay, cool.
um, and Segovia's over her shoulder, so I think we'll be okay.
Fantastic.
But but
Have a
your
good one.
but your participation is always welcome.
Uh, okay.
Good morning, good morning, good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning. Good morning. Hi, Tina, Haley.
Hi there. Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew. Hey, Mike.
Wonderful to see
Hello.
you all. This is the Friday Chief AI Officer weekly call for Q&A, catch up, and all the other all the other fun things that happen in the world of AI to this world. Just waiting another minute or so for the rest of the gang to get all here. Um, I'm going to ditch my
Kim, your background is hilarious.
That's how I feel some mornings.
Given
Definitely.
the fact that I'm a Spartan alum, I'm not happy with that image, but it's hilarious.
I thought I'd share it. The big game's tomorrow, so
I
I thought
know
it would be funny. I just sit between these two children.
that's about it, right?
Yeah,
All I have to say is go Sparty.
I know. I think you'll win.
So I don't know if you can see out my window or if it's getting blasted out by the light, but it is fall colors. I have 6 inches of leaves on top of my grass out in the backyard. We've got beautiful colors happening here
Same.
in
Yeah.
Northeast Indiana.
Yard
Uh,
work this weekend.
say what?
Lots of yard work this weekend.
Yeah, well, fortunately, half my yard is wooded, so I can just blow the leaves into the woods. I don't have to deal with,
Yeah.
like
Same.
bagging and
Same. Just blow it out there away from the house.
yeah,
Steve, really, you need to be in bed.
put them in the woods and let them decompose. It's a wonderful thing. Just have to keep them out of the creek. I did that one year. The first year I moved here, I've got a creek that runs across the back of my property, and I blew all the leaves into the creek, and then of course that totally clogged the creek and caused it to overflow and flood my yard when the
Oh my
spring
God.
rains came. So note to self, Steve. So glad to see you here. I love your accessorizing. It's beautiful. Your medical bling. I hope everything went well, and we hope that you have a really, really fast path to healing. So this is the Friday Chief AI Officer call. My name is Lee Pomerantz. I am a fellow in the program here. Our agenda for the call today is to go over what happened this week in our community, Chief AI Officer land. We're going to talk a little bit about very busy news week outside our community, but very busy week for news in the AI world in general. And then Q&A. And this call is really all about Q&A. We're here to help each other. If you have questions, if you're working on something, if you've seen something, this is just it's a great call for getting your questions answered. Our community is really supportive and helpful, and we're here to help everybody. I would like to welcome everybody who is watching us on our Zoom call. I would also like to welcome everybody who's watching us on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. And I want to thank Segovia and Megan for getting that set up this morning and making all the technical bits work. Yay. So we're out there on all the streams. I also want to welcome everybody who's joining us on this call for the first time. So we have calls every day of the week through our Chief AI Officer program. The Monday call and Friday call, the one you're on right now, are open to the public for anybody to join us and share with us and see what we're doing in this cool community on our journey to learning about AI. So the Monday and Friday calls are open. So if you're joining us through that, welcome. Glad you're here. If you are new on the call and you're joining us just through participation in our recent challenge and you're trying out our AI Insider program, want to welcome you as well. So it's always wonderful to see new faces. If you are here, but you are not part of our AI Insider community yet, I just put a link in and invite you to join. It's a great community. It's very active, a lot of things going on. Again, the community is very, very supportive and we're here to help each other, but you get access to prompt cuts, a prompt vault, which we're going to talk about, and smart cuts, and you get access to all the recordings of all the calls that happened during the week. So as I said, there's 6 calls a week now. We've added a second call on Mondays for AI governance. So you get access to all the recordings of the calls. So if you can't make the call live and you want to catch it, time shift it, there you go. So if you're not a member of our AI Insider community, please check that out and join us. 14-day trial for $1. It's amazing. And you'll see everything that's in there, and join us, and we'll look forward to seeing you on all the calls going forward in the future. I have a wonderful announcement to make. I would like to make an introduction to a new member of our team here at the Chief AI Officer program. Megan Monique is here, and she is joining us as our new community coordinator. So you might have seen Megan on some of the calls previously lurking about. Well, we're shining the spotlight on her this morning. No more lurking. As a community coordinator, Megan's going to be handling community engagement, customer relationship, and moderation inside these calls. She's going to be helping out with content creation, relationship building, strategy development, event coordination. For us, events are these calls that happen all during the week and the challenge and things like that. She's going to assist us with collecting feedback and optimizing the analysis of that feedback to make the community better. Wow, Megan, it sounds like you got a lot to do.
I'm ready for a
Small
vacation.
stuff. Small stuff.
So Megan, if you want to just, do a quick hello and tell us a little bit about, where you've been and what you've done, but I would also love to hear why you wanted to join this crazy community called the chiefaiofficer.com.
Yeah, so this week I'm very much learning what I've gotten myself into in all the good ways. Though I actually spoke with Segovia earlier in the year, and so it's been a process to come on board. And it was a surprise when I heard from him at the end of this year. I'm really happy to be here. My heart is community building, and just making sure that you guys and anybody who's here at Chief AI Officers has what they need to succeed. Very much still learning the ropes and just absorbing all of the knowledge that you guys bring to the table. But customer service and community building is definitely like where my heart is at. I also have a background of website building, graphic design, content management, social media management, all of those things. So happy to bring any expertise that that can provide to the community as well. And I think, so this was like an unexpected surprise of joining the team, but I've been a part of different communities and managed different communities. And what feels very unique about this space to me is how community driven what you guys do here is, and how much each of you contributes to the conversation. It just continues to blow my mind. Like, everybody has their own wheelhouse of knowledge. There's things that you learn from the certification process and the community and the training, but then you each have, like Segovia calls it, your domain, your own domain of what you bring to the table. And it just provides this incredible amount of value to like everyone who attends the classes. So I have felt that really strongly over the last couple of weeks as I've been lurking in the background. And I'm certainly taking advantage of what you guys are bringing to the table as well. I'm just happy to be here, and it's nice to meet you all.
Welcome, welcome, Megan. We look forward to having you be a part of it. We look forward to the energy and enthusiasm that you just put across in speaking with us just now, and infuse that into everything that we do. So, I'm from New York, as I told you all before, so I talked fast to begin with. I've got my caffeine going on here, so we got a lot of stuff to get through. But the call probably will go over an hour, just as the last couple of calls have, with all the things that we need to cover. So if you need to bail out at the top of the hour, I won't be personally offended. I know everyone has things to do, and I want to respect your schedule. So feel free to bail at the top of the hour if you have to. Just know that inside the community, the recording will be available. So at some point during the week, if you want to, catch up on the last 15 or 20 minutes of the call that you missed, the recording will be in there. All right. So Q&A. Does anybody have any pressing questions on anything that we can help address before I get into the rest of my agenda? Mark, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, Megan. Much needed team member. Excited that you're here. And again, Lee, if people don't know, congratulations on your appointment. That's pretty exciting. Just wanted to, a technical thing, actually. I'm struggling to be able to connect with people inside a circle to be able to send them DMs. Is that a technical thing, or am I the only one that can't do that?
As inside the community, you can't DM, or I just haven't replied to you for a week.
Yeah, you and I are the only two that communicate inside there. I can't, if I wanted to hit up Andrew as an example, I can't do that. There's no way for me to do that. Is it a setting or something?
I can. So you should be able to. It's this little circle in the top right corner.
Yeah, I know. I've gone through all the help stuff. So
Segovia will fix you, I'm sure.
I don't know. I've never had anybody say that before. So let's take that offline, and maybe I can throw this.
It's the Gremlin app that you put on him. I remember you pushed that button the other day.
Yeah, I got the gremlin.
There's an X on you.
I
right,
don't think
cool.
I've ever heard anybody else say that they couldn't DM anybody. When you click on your profile photo in the corner, does it not pull up a list of things, and then there's like a place you can just type in a name?
Yeah, I don't have that place to type in a name, but that's fine. We'll take it offline. Don't want to waste the call.
I'll give you one more tip. If you go and you use the search box for somebody and you click on their name, it'll pull up a version of their profile. And then there's a little black button, I think, that says message them.
Nope.
Huh. Maybe put in the penalty box.
Yeah, probably. I'm it's a hockey reference, so that's probably good. Just more of a question opportunity offer. Spoke to Chris about this yesterday or the day before. We Lucid have been invited to participate in a international consulting group. And so we need to field a bench of AI certified individuals. And so I'd like to just put it out there to the people who are on this call, because I know most of y'all. If you are interested in throwing your hat in and having discussion, Kim and Christy, the two of you are automatically people that I want to have conversations with. But if that's something that you're interested in, it's going to be mid-market stuff. This international company based out of South Africa, and they've got offices across the globe, and it's really, they're trying to create a division of, or a practice with inside their company, and we've been identified as the lead on that. So we're going to look to build a team of people. So first and foremost, we're going to come inside the community. So I just want to put that out there. There'll be a post on that, but I just want to, for those of you who aren't members yet, just know that this is part of the community. This is part of what happens here, is that these opportunities begin to come up, and certification and understanding and becoming a leader in this space and excellence. This is where the industry is going. So within the next 24 months, there will be AI divisions of everything. And so this is an opportunity to get in early. So anyway, I just wanted to shout out to the team, and I wanted to let everyone know that's still considering this, that this is the place to be. And yeah, just DM me and let's connect up. Okay, thanks so much.
Mark, thank you so much. And as Mark said, yeah, this is what happens in this community, is that there's deal flow and opportunities, and members of this community will come in and look to other members in the community for assistance working on a project, or helping to figure something out, or a great opportunity like this. So that, that's amazing. Mark, thank you for sharing that. Congratulations on having that opportunity in front of you, and thank you for bringing it here so that you can get more participants. Because guess what? Mark's going to have a hard time finding those people to fill those slots out there in the marketplace. There aren't a lot of them, and we're making them here. So kudos. Tyrese, what's up? Hello.
Hi, good morning, everybody, and congratulations to both you, Lee, and Megan, for your new
Thank you.
positions. Yay. I have a question about pickaxe, but I'm not sure if anybody in this group has experience with that. Oh, Mark. Okay. I would like to know. I'm having issues with I created a GPT and I'm trying to move it into pickaxe, and it's been a little bit glitchy, and so I'm trying to figure out where I'm going wrong. And so yeah, I'm wondering if anybody else has that issue.
Yeah, it's a bit of a glitchy platform still. We're on regular with the owners and developers of that thing.
Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some workarounds on some of those things. I'll drop my email in the group chat and we can take that one offline, but absolutely happy to help you with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's we're leaning heavy into it. So happy to help. And my email's there for anyone else who wants to hit me up too.
Thank you.
Again, Mark, thank you very much. Again, demonstration of the community. Someone's got a problem, someone's got a solution, boom, make a connection. It's going to get solved. It's going to get resolved. And that also applies in the context of when you start working with clients, or when you're in your job executing as a chief AI officer in whatever role or capacity that is, or as you're learning, if there's something that comes up that you need to figure out or work on, it's okay to say to the person you're working with, hey, I don't know the answer to that, but I am part of this amazing community and this amazing network. So let me take it back to my fellow AI people, and I will absolutely get you an answer to that. So it's how this works. And we didn't pay Mark to make his announcement today. We didn't pay Tyrese to ask her a question today. So these are real people, and this is real stuff that's happening in real time. All right. So looking at my agenda here. Oh, okay. So we shared this last week, but we minted a whole new bunch of certified chief AI officers over the last week or two. So I just wanted to give a shout out again to Patty Dominguez, Mark Garrett, Andrew Lopez, Eitan Pollinger, Jonathan Harburg, Tyrese Nieswander. Did you hear that?
Tyrese.
So
I know you said it, what, three weeks in a row? It's
so
nice,
welcome.
Wander, by the way, because I'm nice.
There you go. All right. So hopefully Segovia threw you some gang signs and some balloons there. If I mispronounce your name, I apologize, but welcome all as chief AI officers. We look forward to your continued participation and contribution to our community. I also would like to welcome our newest certified chief AI officer students. So we had a challenge about a week ago. We do that every month. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we've got some new students that are in our program. So I want to welcome Mark Fryer, Stephen Kahuma, Vincent Miraflor, Bernadette Leal Jaramillo, Kyle Bohr, Carissa Luke, Chantel Leclerc, and Rajay Sharman. So welcome all of you. If you're here on the call, happy to see you here. If you're listening to the recording, welcome virtually through the recording. But these are people who came through the challenge and made decision to take some massive action in their life and get into the AI space and expand their knowledge around it. So again, if I mispronounce your names, I do apologize. So to all the graduates and to all the new students, congratulations. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're a student, we're here to help you on the journey. If you're a graduate, guess what? The journey keeps on going because this stuff changes every day. So if you think you're done learning, no, sorry, not going to happen. That's not the way it works here. All right. I'm going to dump over into a quick screen share here. And see if this works. There we go. All right. So we do have a component of our community, and for those of you that are not in the AI Insider community, you're looking in right now. One of the things that we have is a leaderboard where we recognize the people who are most active in the community. Okay, so I would like to welcome to not welcome, but congratulations to Karan for anchoring that top spot for 2 weeks in a row now. Usually there's some movement, but he's holding on. Raj has entered the top tier for the first time. Raj is not on the call. He slacked me earlier. He's preparing for his presentation that he has to do later. So he's usually on these calls, but he's not. He's doing his homework. But congratulations to Raj. And wow, so things changed last night. I was going to congratulate Tina for joining the top tier, but between last night and this morning, it looks like Matt Ivy has bumped Tina. So I'm going to include Tina and Steve and Andrew in the top, as you can see on my screen. But again, nobody gets a prize here, but to all of you, we want to acknowledge you. We want to thank you for your contribution to the community, whether it's posting content, whether it's answering questions, commenting on questions, whatever it is. As Megan said, this is a community-driven, group, and we really, really are proud of the community that we're building. We're proud of the culture that we're building. And if you're new here, you'll see the participation is really, really high. All right, I just do want to remind everybody, go back over here, that we have added a new feature. So alumni mentorship. So you can come to the calls during the week, but we've also created a new mentorship opportunity that will give you the ability to access a handful of us, and this list will be growing. But so far, myself and Terry and Chris and Christy have volunteered to be mentors to everybody that's in the program, to make some time available on our calendar if you have, some questions or whatever. So you can come inside the community here, jump on our calendar and be able to get your questions answered. And if you got something that needs to be answered and there's not a call happening, or you don't want to wait for the community to respond to it, please reach out into the mentor group here and we got your back. We'll get that answered for you. All righty. I also lost my place on the screen here. Sorry, give me 1 second. All right, our affiliate program, I just want to mention this real briefly for new people that are on the program and also in the context of the upcoming challenge. So we have an affiliate program where you can earn money for spreading the word about the Chief AI Officer program, and people who you talk to who join our program and join the certification program, you can earn sales commissions on that. The rate at which you can earn sales commissions means that probably for referring 2 or 3 people into the program, you can get your own certificate paid for. So if you have any questions or interest in this, I would like to have somebody throw in the link here. I'll just do it. Hang on. Cut, copy, paste is your friend. All right. So if you're interested in the affiliate program, go to that link and you can sign up for it. We have some people in our program community that are already making some nice money through our affiliate program. And again, it's a way that you can get your own certification paid for if you like to participate in that. If you have any questions about the affiliate program, it's one of the things that I'm managing as part of my new role here as CMO. Feel free to reach out to me. My email address is lee@chiefaiofficer.com. Pretty easy, lee@chiefaiofficer.com. If you have any questions, it doesn't cost anything to sign up for the affiliate program. It's basically 2 forms you need to fill out, and then we'll give you a link that you can go out and share. I did mention that we had our challenge about a week or so ago. We have a next challenge. We do these every month. So the next challenge is coming up on November 11th. If you just recently went through the challenge, you know what it's about. If you went through it a while ago, you know what it's about. So we've got 3 days of great content. And Segovia, I didn't update my slides. So we've got tags for day 1, 2, and 3. What are they again, please?
Strategize, and I know the third one is monetize. There's another eyes in there. It's not actual eyes.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there. Segovia is just getting ramped up with his coffee. He's on the West Coast. So, but we have a theme for each of these 3 days. Basically, intro to generative AI is the day 1, crafting your
Okay, I
AI
got it.
strategy.
Day 1 is optimize, day 2 is strategize, and day 3 is monetize.
Thank you very much. I will
and I'll let me just throw the other side of the coin in there. So, the idea, and this is just kind of behind the scenes thinking, but it's something that if you're bringing people into, this, and you're an affiliate, or you're bringing people to the challenge, and you're bringing, your workforce, your teammates, your employees, your staff, whatever, we try and take them through a customer user journey. And that journey, I mean, customer, whatever, maybe they're not our customer yet. Hope maybe one day they will be, but it's sort of the journey of like day 1, they want to be, you can do this. Like, okay, yeah, all right. They go from you can do this to, oh, I could do this. Right. And then day 2, it's like, oh, I will do this, because they've done the homework, and they're like, oh, I'm doing this, to I must do this. Right. And then by day 3, they kind of transform from oh, I need to do this now, to I'd be crazy not to do this. And that's the objective. And whether this is, chief AI officer, or just getting on the AI, speed train.
Sweet. All right. So this is where your affiliate link would send people. And then they come into the challenge, they join the community, and hopefully they join the certification program. So again, why am I mentioning the challenge right after the affiliate program? Because this is a great opportunity. We're in a great window right now for you to promote the upcoming challenge. So the next challenge, as I said, is happening on November 11th. So if you are an affiliate, please help, spread the word, let your community and the people that you know and love let them know about it, that it's happening. But we've got this is the window now where we want to be, promoting the upcoming challenge, and you can participate in that as an affiliate. Okay, so our next subject for the call is
one more quick announcement, because I
of
wanted
course
to
you
talk
can
while you hit.
you can make 2. Go ahead.
I'll make 2. Just in terms of small changes, as we get Megan more in the lane of like taking over some of the roles that I've had in community management, you'll see a lot of little changes that are going to go through the community. But one of them, based on user feedback, again, this is stuff that trickles up from me, and a lot of people come to me with their ideas. In future, you can bring those ideas to Megan, of course. But we're starting to see a lot of volume going through we only had 1 or 2 channels in there. There was the ask questions and feedback channel, And then there was the one that was like news and wins and updates. So that has now been broken into two. And so we now have one that specifically says weekly wins, where if you've got something that you want to report on for a win, you can put it there. And the other one, it says AI news. And I think we'll probably end up splintering a couple more, threads off of that, so that there's different lanes. If you want to subscribe only to like news, you can do that. If you want to, keep up on announcements and updates. So yeah, Lee's got it up there. News. So you'll see some changes around that, and just know that it'll probably be self-identified where you should post stuff. But
just like the world of AI, our world keeps changing as well. And as Segovia said, it's we're driven by the community. So, the content we have in the calls, when we have the calls, how to make information more accessible inside the community. It's all about what we hear back from the community. So, and with Megan, we've got a one of those big hearing aid things, those big megaphone things that are, we're listening. All right. So, I just wanted to check in and see at this point of the agenda, who's got wins to share? Does anybody have any wins this week? Did you get a new client? Did you figure out something? Did you have an aha moment? Do you have an amazing piece of AI technology that you came across that you want to share with us that has made your life whiter, brighter, and smell like spring air? Steve, please share. Welcome. I'm really glad you're here, bro. I know you just had surgery yesterday or the day before.
What's today? Friday? I had it Wednesday.
Wednesday. So just
A
the
double
dedication, the dedication that Steve has as a member of our community, as a contributor in our community, to go through neck surgery and then to be here on the call. I'll give it up for Steve. Thank you, Steve. We appreciate you.
Very much. I'm fading fast, but so far so good. I think these little tiny white pills are awesome. You should all try one. On a serious note, I got 2 appointments. I'm in the accelerator program and we're doing lead reclamation. I've got 2 calls set up for 2 new calls on top of the one I've already done. And I've got 2 training sessions set up from just telling people about what I'm doing and just promoting it and doing posts and blogs and the usual, but just put it out there who you are and what you're doing. People are so curious. They just want to know. And they're looking for help and understanding how to benefit from it. So that's my wins. And I survived surgery. Yes.
Yes, you survived it. Smash it. Beat that surgery. All right. Again, fast healing. Enjoy the drugs, and your weekend has already begun, I'm sure.
It's all good.
Thank you, Steve. Jonathan, good morning.
Hi, thanks. Just want to say I got the certification as Chief AI Officer, so that's a win in my book.
It is an absolute, and I
in our consulting company that we just started, that we hope to sign 3 contracts next week. One of them for a full-time fractional CIO role, but they want to use generative AI to do things better and faster and at higher quality. So
that's amazing. So Jonathan is somebody who was kind of really on the fence about whether he wanted to do this chief AI officer thing. He's been one of the people who has completed his certification at one of the fastest rates that other people have. He's got a new company. He's got contracts that are happening. And this is what, 45 days, not even 60 days for you, right, Jonathan?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So,
but I have the advantage in that I got severed from my old job, and so I have all kinds of time. So
he's a Marine, that's why.
And I'm a Marine too. So
jarhead, that's why.
So yeah. What's that Marine expression? Embrace the suck. So
embrace, yeah. Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Yeah, exactly. So anyhow, kudos to you, and just glad we were able to convince you to join the program. So we're glad you're here, and
nice, Steve. Well done.
We look forward to continuing to see your continued success and wins that you bring to the community. Hey, Sherry, good morning.
Good morning. I have a couple wins this week. I've been really getting myself out there and going to networking events. And I went to a local, it's a community pitch where people pitch their businesses and they're looking for funding. And I met up with a senior vice president of a local bank, and I told her what I was doing. I know her from other networking events. And she actually invited me to be, she's very intrigued, and she invited me to be part of an AI panel next week. So I've got that dialed in. So I'm very excited. That's kind of like my first invite to do something. And then also I got accepted into the SCORE mentorship program. So I'm getting that set up as well. I'll be going through their program, and I'm looking forward to that. So I'm starting to get out there, starting to get some momentum, getting some visibility. So
Awesome.
Sherry, one of the things that I may recommend for you is, and we're looking into this too for our company, is a lot of the chambers of commerce have grants for starting new companies. And if you have startup costs, like we're now into the 5 digits of expenses to get things set up, you can get a grant that can defray those.
okay, I'll check into that. Thank you.
So talk to those.
And office space to that too. I think they provide office space sometimes.
Yeah, they'll do office space, but like my chamber, for the county, they maybe the state level does it, but mine actually wants me to pay for the meeting for me to present to 60 of their members. So like this chamber is going to be different, you know.
Yeah, I did apply for three grants. They were for women-owned businesses. So I applied for those, but I will look into the chamber. I'm a member of the chamber, so I will definitely check into that. Thank you for that.
Good idea.
The other thing, chambers are kind of typically pretty local. There are also a lot of regional organizations. They could be called, economic development organizations that are more regional and larger, economic development zones, those kind of things. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities that are out there for accessing capital and other resources like office space to get things kicked off. So Sherry, thank you for sharing, and we're rooting for you and got you back. We're here to help. Mark, you're back.
I'm back. Yeah. So in terms of wins, what phrase this? I've been really working on disseminating information and not keeping it to myself. And sharing everything within the team. It started with 2 of our team joining the participation on the 3-day challenge, and that was really good. I was able to get them up to a level where we could have conversations where I wasn't teaching; we were actually having meaningful conversation. So rolled that out with the rest of the team, and over the last 2 weeks, we've now produced and put out 7 proposals for 3 different team members. I've got a team member speaking literally right now to a group of entrepreneurs and marketing automation people, part of an AI panel. And I've got another team member, she's out in Denver right now, speaking to a group of content writers, trainers, and such. And she, just before we're coming on the call, I get a text from her saying, I've got 11 prospects for you to speak with next week. So again, I'm not trying to pump Chief AI Officer.
Mark, if you need help in Denver, I live here.
Fantastic, perfect. Well, maybe you and Anna can connect. The key thing with what I've recognized now is the framework and the understanding of where AI is and what Chief AI Officer is presenting, and the structure of how we're going out, is we have a unique ability now to walk in with a new set of skills that people aren't familiar with. And when what's a CAIO? Oh, well, I'm certified as a Chief AI Officer. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means that we look at everything and we look at it a holistic point of view, not just at a tool or a solution, or hey, let me teach you how to use ChatGPT, because quick search and you can find 5 YouTube videos with 10 million views on it. Like, that's not what we do. We're doing it at a much higher level. And what it's doing also is it's enabling team members to be able to go out and promote that we have this certification as a whole, and it's elevating their ability to go to market. So again, just for those of you who are, you know, kind of leveraging this tools, look to bring team members in, look to elevate them as well, because they can go out and present the message. I almost feel like we're evangelizing AI and what's possible with this. So again, just shout out to all the team for bringing this together and pulling this up, because it's really starting to work for us. So I expect a $50,000 key. That's kind of what because of what's happened. So
Get the
again,
flywheel started and it just starts picking up momentum. That's just what happens.
brother. Absolutely. And Steve, congratulations on getting through your surgery. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Mark. It's a great opportunity, and all you need to do is go out there and talk about it, and people will lean in and say, "Ooh, tell me more about that," or "I've heard about that. What's going on in that space?" So we're at that point where they're starting to get more general public awareness of we live in this little bubble, so we know every little twitch and itch and thing that happens, but it's getting out there into the public more and more, and givers get. So put value in advance out there, put stuff out there. Don't worry about competition. Don't look over your shoulder. If you're here, you are so far down the road ahead of everybody else. So, just put stuff out there, demonstrate that you've got, domain expertise, that you've got knowledge, that you've got experience, that you know what you're talking about. And it's like moths to a light. People will come to you. Andrew, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Hey, I just want to really commend Mark by, grabbing the bull by the horns and really, running with it, man. I commend you on that. It's like, you're just, you've got some wheels underneath you right now. And I'm really proud of you. It's really, it's cool to see. Yeah. In regards to wins, I don't, if you guys had listened to the podcast with Chris Daigle and Jeff Woods and the strategy that came out of that, that was, that Jeff shared with us, creating the virtual board and the profiles, right? And then taking your agenda and then taking the recording. I got to apply that twice this week. So I got to apply it in a marketing meeting. Results were phenomenal. It was like one of the best, for marketing meetings, it's one of the best marketing meetings we've had in a long time.
Nice.
And then we had our board meeting yesterday, like a business review meeting. And my CTO reached out and he's like, wow, that was a really good board meeting. We haven't, I'm just like, well, that's the first round. We haven't seen anything yet. Wait until we optimize it now with the recording. So that was a win. I also had the privilege of speaking with Jeff Woods yesterday and having an interview with him. And he accepted me into his personal collective. So I'm really excited about that, and moving forward with that relationship with him, and just networking with him, and just growing my knowledge base. So it was a huge win for me.
Welcome to this week's episode of.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that is awesome. And there's a link in YouTube for the Jeff Woods video that Andrew was just mentioning. So yeah, congratulations on being on the collective. He's moving and shaking and things going in a really fast way for him. So good train to hitch your wagon to on for sure. I also just wanted to say, one of the reasons that we do these wins of the week is to not only just help keep everybody motivated and engaged and moving forward, but it's also an opportunity to hear. All you got to do is pick up one or two little golden nuggets from one of these calls, and your time investment is paid for. So whether it's, picking up on engaging with a chamber of commerce, or whether it's some other idea that somebody else is doing that you can then go, oh, that's cool. I can do that in my community, or oh, I didn't think of doing that. That sounds really interesting. So that's what the hive mind is all about. We're all better when we're collaborating with each other. We're all better when we're sharing and, you know, picking up little nuggets of things that go along. So I want to thank everybody for sharing. You know, it's not bragging if it's true. So I appreciate everybody who brought their wins to the table this week. I'll do a quick poll, see if anybody has any questions at this point in the call. Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to dive into some news items. Why do we do the news items here? We do the news items because if you're in the world of AI, you know that it's moving fast. Okay, it's moving wicked fast. It's drinking from a fire hose, and we want to help kind of curate and distill down some of the content that's out there, and you know, kind of pick the nuggets, if you will, of things that are happening out there. So we do a survey. I do a survey of news items that are out there that I want to bring back to the community. So I'm going to start off with this link here, which is an offer that HubSpot has put out. This is a really cool tool that they just released for free. They've been talking about this for a while, and obviously HubSpot, as a leader in the CRM and sales platform automation space, is going to put out some good content. So there's been rumblings. They've been talking about doing this, and it's out. And what this is it's a Google template. It's a Google sheet that you can copy over, and it's really your key to supercharging your productivity and saving time. So it's going to help you learn how to integrate AI technology into your processes and allow you to optimize. They have a little overview here. They have an example. So in the assistance overview, you know, you've got a tool. What are the capabilities? How do you get into it? And then are there, you know, any kind of custom settings or integrations that go along with it? Then you have a tool user guide. So again, features, customizations, just a great way to.
This is a nugget, guys. Another nugget. I
You're
love
wel-
it.
you're
Thank you, Lee. Thank
you're
you.
you're welcome. It's like, why reinvent the wheel? You know, people, you know, we're all scribbling things in various places and sticking things in Evernote and, you know, Notion and here and there. So if somebody comes up with a tool that helps us kind of, you know, coalesce and organize and have a place, you know, where we can put all this stuff, great, let's do it. Andrew, you're welcome. I'm glad that I could help out with that. They also have a task delegation effectiveness calculator where you can put in, here's how much time I spend. Andrew's head just exploded. Where you can put in, you know, here's how much this task typically takes me doing it the way I usually do it. Okay. And a job is just a series of tasks. So you string together tasks, and now you can have this. You can put in how many tasks per week, what your completion rate is, and how much time you're going to save. So a nugget, I came across it and I was like, oh, the community needs to hear about this. So check out the link and get yourself organized. And just as Prompt Vault, and we'll talk about that in a minute, is a place to organize and optimize and have in one place all your prompting essentials. This looks like a really cool tool to bring all your other things in line as well. Okay, big announcement from Anthropic this week. So Anthropic is the company that brings us the frontier model Claude. So I'm sure you've all heard about Claude. They have an update. So there's a new 3.5 model Sonnet, as well as 3.5 Haiku. And this, I will put this in the link here as well. I'm trying to do this efficiently. All right, so there's the link to the Anthropic announcement. But what really is cool is they announced and demonstrated how an AI can take over and use your computer. So it can do things with your mouse, it can do things with your keyboard. I'm going to unshare this for 1 second and then reshare it because I want to make sure that I've got my
It'll
tab.
build a website for you.
All
It's
right,
pretty
so
crazy. You see that video?
yep. So I'm going to
Yep.
share. I'm going to make sure I share my sound here, and
Yeah,
then
because that would be, you know, that would be huge from the web-based software testing step.
oh, it's got applications in all kinds of places. So
Yeah, it's a POC. It's perfect for your proof of concept.
so let's take a quick look for 2 minutes.
So I'm Sam, and I'm one of the researchers here at Anthropic. Compute use is something that we felt was going to be important for a while now. And so today we're going to be talking about a very early version we have of computer use and walking through a representative example of the things we think it's going to be useful for. We're going to be going through a quick demo today. In this fictional demo, a customer, in this case the Ant Equipment Company, has come to us and asked us to fill out a vendor request form. The data I need to fill out this form is scattered in various places on my computer. What we're going to do is ask Claude to look at the spreadsheet, check if Ant Equipment is in there, and if not, move over to the CRM and try and find some more information there. Once it has this data, Claude's going to then fill out the form for us and hopefully transfer the information across to the vendor form. The first thing that's going to happen is Claude's going to start taking screenshots of my screen and quickly realizes that the Ant Equipment Company isn't actually in the spreadsheet. So the first thing it does is it swaps over to a CRM and searches for the company we're interested in. Luckily, we get a search match, and Claude then starts scrolling through the page, looking for all the information it needs to fill out this form.
This is Claude doing the
Claude
work
then
on the
autonomously
screen.
starts transferring the information across without me having to do anything. And goes through the steps and fills out all the information needed.
I wonder if it could take a website and record me.
And then submits the form. This example is representative of a lot of drudge work that people have to do. This is available in the API. We're excited for people to try it, and we should expect things to get a lot better over the coming months.
As a video,
All right, so
as a video editor, you used to wait for things to render, and it'd be like, go get a coffee. You'd literally go get a coffee, chat at the water cooler, come back. Oh, it's still rendering. Now it's just like, okay, computer, just do my job for me. I'm gonna go to lunch.
yeah, so this is, agents. We've all heard about agents, and that's the AIs taking action with external things in our world on behalf of us. So here's a demonstration of that happening on a computer. This is available. They're starting to release this. This is where things are going. And again, the most important thing that he said at the end was, this is just the beginning, and we're looking forward to this getting better. We are using, remember this, every single day you're doing something, we are using the worst AI that we will ever use in our lifetime. It just keeps getting better. So take a look at the Claude. They had some other announcements, but they're the first that are out there as a frontier large language model demonstrating this kind of technology and capability. And it's where it's going, and it's where it's going fast. Okay. So I also came across this, which was kind of funny. This was from one of the developers who was working on coding the Claude project. And it said, even while we were recording demonstrations of computer use for today's launch, we encountered some amusing errors. In one, Claude accidentally clicked to stop a long-running screen recording, causing all the footage to be lost. Oops. In another, Claude suddenly took a break from our coding demo and began to peruse photos of Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah, the
So-
AI assistant on Google does that to me.
Yeah, so Claude, it was tired of, it needed a break. It needed a refresher.
I don't know if I'm ready to give
Needed
a
some fresh
AI
air.
engine access to my computer at will just yet.
I'm
It's
I'm
a
I'm I'm
security
just
concern.
yeah, no, absolutely. So that
Yeah,
was fun.
You,
And
you, you add to the cemetery. It's just
In,
another
in
one down.
1984, Sky had become self-aware.
And as a reference to that, like people that are on the front line, like the tech pundits, the people who do podcasts like 5 days a week on technology, they often have multiple devices and sandboxed devices that they'll use to do these kinds of tests and experiments, which is not exposing them to like, oops, it just has all my, financial and banking information and just slurped it up. Like, so just a word of caution. It's good to play with the new toys, but make sure that you put on the necessary brakes.
yes, safe computing. Karan, thank you for sharing that. He just threw a link into a news item that talks about Anthropic's Claude controlling. So yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of buzz out there. Like I said, it was a really buzzy week for news, so it was hard for me to winnow down what I was going to talk about today. This is important for a whole lot of reasons. So Google, we're trying to get a handle, we as in, everybody who's in the AI space, we're trying to get a handle on, ways that we can watermark and identify what is AI generated content. So Google's making their Synth ID, that's what they call it, Synth ID. It's technology that lets developers watermark and detect text written by generative AI models generally available. So this is out there now. They talked about that it has limitations. For example, Synth ID doesn't perform particularly well with short text or text that's been rewritten or translated from another language. And the big takeaway from this, as we're, trying to identify, misinformation, disinformation, AI generated content, all those kind of things. What caught me here is these two paragraphs right here. So watermarking techniques for text, if widely adapted, could help turn the tide on inaccurate but increasingly popular AI detectors, which are generally agreed to as being useless in the world, that they generally false flag. Somebody I shared a couple of weeks ago, somebody took the US Constitution, put it into an AI detector, and the AI detector said this was 100 or 90% written by an AI. Clearly, it wasn't. So,
Or was it?
Or was it?
I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun.
I just saw a cat glitch over in the corner here. So yeah.
Why did they stop building the pyramids 400 years after they began, and all of a sudden, the United States was formed?
Yeah. Interesting. Tyrese, thank you for
We're
sharing.
giving
Thank you for
Segovia a
joining us.
headache.
All right, so just want to again, we're coming up on the top of the hour. I want to respect everybody's time, and also, if you're so enthralled with what I'm talking about that you're not watching the clock, it is coming up on the top of the hour. So if you need to bounce, I understand. We'll catch the recording. Have a great weekend, but we're going to keep on trundling through. So AI detectors are iffy at best. So this watermarking will help with that. But this is the other thing to look at here. There may soon be legal mechanisms that force developers' hands. China's government has introduced mandatory watermarking of AI-generated content, and the state of California is looking to do the same. So there's going to be regulation that's, Steve, peace out, bro. Heal fast over the weekend. So there's going to be legislation that's coming from either our federal government or local state governments on this. It's an important thing to keep your eyes on, but it's not something that's going to impact you day to day, but it is something to be aware of.
I've been
Yeah.
contemplating running for governor here in California. Just kidding. I mean, and this is kind of, this is a bit ridiculous right now. I think it's a bit too early to start going down, especially just one particular state. This needs to come from the higher the federal level. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. There needs to be some consistency. But
I think just to put this into context, some of the feedback that we've been hearing as we're out starting to talk to businesses is a conversation around how can my employees or my team understand what results they're getting. And so my immediate response back to them is, well, don't use ChatGPT, go over to Perplexity because you can source. And I got a pushback on that one saying, well, how do we know if the sources are accurate? And I'm like, well, this is where critical thinking comes in. And I've been playing around with this idea. Oh, where did it go? I should have had it handy. Basically, it's this conversation where AI adoption and critical thinking begin to intersect. And by having AI be able to create all of this stuff, we have more time to critically assess what we're developing. And so that's been a big feedback to a lot of these potential clients is yeah, we're using AI to do this stuff, but absent of watermarking in federal or state legislative activities, the team members that are culling this information and be able to assimilate this, they need to have the critical thinking in place. So we're introducing part of our training is how do you assess this information? How do you assess the results? And now use your critical thinking time, because you've saved all this time writing these reports. Let's bring it back down. So it's I think before we even go to the government, I think we need to teach the people using the outputs of this that they need to be responsible for the outcomes. And so that is part of your new task is I've got AI, I'm letting you use AI, go for it. Great. But you now need to assess the reality and the information that's being produced there. So just something I think
Absolutely.
Before governments get in, we need to do that.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. That's a great perspective.
Yeah, and Steve, I'm sorry, Mark, this goes back to human in the loop, okay? So that we can't just turn things over to the AI, take its output at face value and publish it or do whatever. That's one of the reasons that people like something like Perplexity, or that some of the other generative search engines are now pulling in more of the citation material, because okay, AI, Perplexity, I plexed something, here's the answer. Okay, now let me go see where you got these answers from and see if those are valid sources, and if the content that you use to generate this answer is real or not real. So yes, there has to be human in the loop. Jonathan, have a great weekend. There has to be human in the loop, and that evaluative process isn't going to go away. I don't think it's ever go away. There needs to be someone who's going to be the ultimate arbiter of, okay, this is the stuff that I got in my research. Here's what I'm going to publish because I've done my due diligence. I've gone back. I've looked at the citation. I've validated all the places where this content came from.
Thanks, Mark. This chart that I'm just holding up, I'm trying to put some study around this, because that's the intersection where you've developed and saved all this time. You now need to go and begin to do your critical thinking, and that now becomes the human value add in this, the human in the loop. But that's a message that we're starting to take out, and looking at that article from Google really just hits home that we can't wait as leaders and as thought leaders in the space. We can't wait for government to take this over. We need to be responsible to the businesses that we advise and coach. So anyway,
we need to be responsible to ourselves. And Christy will talk about this, or has talked about this on the governance call, which we're now having. But if you have a consultancy and you're going out and you're working with clients, you've got liability for the stuff that you're doing with your clients. And you need to make sure that the content that you're bringing to your clients is valid and fact checked. But you've got real liability as a consultant in this space for things that you're bringing to your clients. So again, that's just another reason to double check it and make sure that what you're talking about is legit. So yeah, I appreciate the input there, Mark. It's a very important and very valid part of the dialogue that has to be going on right now. All right, moving on. Marketing AI Institute. I just put that link in the chat. I will throw it in there again in case it went away. All right, so the Brookings Institute, which is a well-known research organization, and here is the link to the actual article in the Brookings Institute report. So the Brookings Institute has come out with a new report having to do with the impact of AI on specifically the American workforce. In the report, they find that 30% of workers could see at least half their tasks affected by generative AI, and up to 85% of workers could see at least 10% of their tasks impacted. Great, but these numbers are based on today's AI capabilities. What did I just say? We're using the worst AI that there is. What did I just show? Claude taking over a computer. It's just going to keep getting better. So as it keeps getting better and better, there's going to be disruption. And there's really not anybody that I'm seeing, in the government level. I watched an interview last night with Peter Diamandis and Ray Kurzweil, and the extent of the conversation from Ray Kurzweil, nothing against the guy, he's an amazing visionary, he's got an amazing track record, like 86% of what he's talked about has come to fruition, but his comment was, yeah, there's going to be some disruption, and that was kind of the length of it. So this is an interesting article to read. The main item here is, again, this is based on where we are today, and we're, that people aren't talking about what this means and why this is going to be so important as we go down the road. Economists, boy, economists do one thing really, really well. They look backward to think what might happen forward. And they can't in the world of AI. I mean, they can look at, some of the recent history, but they can't go back and do the deep dive because of the accelerated exponential curve that all this stuff is happening on. So they really, Paul Raitzer from Marketing AI Institute said, we really need to have like an Apollo level mission in this country to talk about AI literacy and reskilling and upskilling the workforce, because the stuff is moving and it's moving fast, and there just aren't a lot of people out there talking about what's happening. Okay. So this is an interesting thing to think about. It's not a tool that we're using every day, but this is societal impact and whether we're prepared and how we're prepared. So take a look at the link for the article from the Marketing AI Institute. Take a look at the Brookings research report. I put both of those links in there for you to take a look at. All right. This was really interesting. And just the Marketing AI Institute, you'll see me, that's one of my go-to sources. They do a really, really great podcast once a week where they distill down, their process is they basically throw topics in a sandbox all during the week. There could be 35 or 40 items that are in the sandbox. And then they distill that down to like 3 main topics and, 5 or 6 quick topics that they cover in a 1-hour podcast. So they're kind of my pre-curator. They're one of my go-to sources because I know that they're curating well and they're bringing important information. So this is an interesting article, and I'll throw this in, and there's actually two links here. So this is Sequoia Capital has put out a report on generative AI and how generative AI is changing. And what Paul is talking about here is that we're kind of moving from fast thinking machines to slower thinking machines. And we've seen this with the O1 model that ChatGPT has released, where we're trying to get this deeper reasoning and this deeper thought process going on. Talking about the evolution of kind of system one thinking to system two thinking. So system one thinking is, what's the capital of Ohio? You get an answer. System two thinking is, explain why Columbus, Ohio became the capital of Ohio. And that actually requires some more thought and some more reasoning and time to go through that process. I actually was in ChatGPT o1 the other day, and I got it to think for 45 seconds on something. I was like, wow, I'm sitting here waiting for the response. And I'm like, okay, do I need to refresh this or bump it or something like that? And it actually took 45 seconds to work through something that I had asked it. So it's definitely working. So definitely the premise of giving the machine more time to think is real. That we've seen that in prompts, where people tell the machine, take your time, think about this, take a breath, go get a cup of coffee, as Scovia said, while I render this. But the longer thinking time is definitely bringing more and better content results, as is demonstrated in ChatGPT's o1 response. And we'll certainly see the other frontier language models start doing similar things as well. And then the Sequoia, okay, so Sequoia is a venture capital firm, private equity firm. I don't know if they're one or both of those. I think they're a VC company. So they also talked about that, AI is kind of coalescing around, major players, Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, DeepMind, Anthropic. And we're seeing this pattern where, everybody comes out with something and kind of leapfrogs. Sequoia also said that unlike earlier commentary where these wrapper companies, so when AI, kind of first came out onto the market, there were a lot of companies, startups that were rushing into the space that were basically, connecting to the AI through an API and then kind of doing their own thing on top of it, which was kind of like a wrapper around the API and its technology. And when some of this functionality was getting baked into the AI, people were saying, "Oh, these wrapper companies are toast; they're gone." That's not going to be the model going forward. And what Sequoia is saying is that these companies, these wrapper companies, really are going to be critical in the food chain going forward because they allow focus on specific domains like, legal, customer service, marketing. So ChatGPT is not going to end up with, domain vertical specific applications for these particular industries. Wrapper companies can do that, leveraging domain expertise and to build, valuable intellectual property. So take a look at these articles. And then the last piece that Paul talks about is, down the road, not too distant future, we're not going to be dealing with, these billion-dollar, we don't need these billion-dollar training LLMs to do the stuff that we need to do in our world generally day to day. That smaller LLMs or some of these wrapper apps that coordinate with the big one. Okay, so this is getting into some system thinking here, and Paul's point was great. When I go to GPT and I need to pick from one of four models, how do I know which one to use? Okay, through trial and error, those of us that are using these models have kind of, honed in on, okay, ChatGPT is good for this, Claude's good for that. I like Gemini for this. So that's trial and error. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't have to be figuring out which model we're going to use. There's going to be, a super AI, the one that had the $1 billion training run sitting at the top. We're going to interact with that. And then it's going to go and reach out to the smaller ones to get us the answers that we want. So interesting perspective on things that are happening and changing. From the article that Sequoia put out there. Take a look at it, take a read at it, and let me know what you think. Andrew.
Yeah, I just want to put a different perspective on it and be devil's advocate. A key word you had mentioned there is food, right? They are going to be the big 9,000-pound gorillas lunch. They're going to come and eat them. They're going to learn from them. And so that's that's how I'm seeing it. It's kind of like the crypto market all over again. Bitcoin and Ether, they're still there, right? But all those little side chains are gone to the wind. So I'm kind of seeing it like that, and from that perspective. And then I think these LLMs are going to be really vertical, like siloed and niche, to where they're not going to allow, the cross integration and all that, because they want to own that IP. And like with what Google's doing with Vertex, they're getting behind it big time right now. So seeing things like that play out, it's showing that they understand the market. They understand that there's a lot of little companies coming out, and maybe they get rolled up if they can show market penetration and they actually have a viable solution. But the wrapper part of it, I'm seeing a lot of that right now. And it's like, well, an organization can make their own wrapper of, open AI or whatever it is to basically accomplish.
But will they? Is that going to be their core focus or not?
It's getting, yeah, I mean, I get you on that side. But then there's like native solutions in Salesforce, right? Salesforce with Agentforce, let's say. Like if you're trying to provide an agent type of solution in the marketplace at Salesforce, you're competing with Agentforce now, and you can't compete with Agentforce. Their data is so much cheaper. You know what I mean? Like, because you're skinning something on top of whatever they're doing before, and they're getting like crazy discounts on data.
Oh, and you're paying to write in on their API. That's costing you money.
But yeah, but if you're already a Salesforce shop, right?
Yes.
I'm just being devil's advocate. So it's like that is, and they already have that penetration. They own that market, the CRM market, right? And like a lot of businesses, HubSpot and CRM, and Salesforce, those are the two CRMs when you think about it. So having the solutions, with what I see you shared today with HubSpot, they're aware of it as well. They're going to try to bake in their own assistant. To where you don't need all these outside. I'm doing these demos with all these third parties, and they're wrappers, and some of them are half baked. They're going to use the contract to further develop their solution. So we're really the test bed and sandbox, and it's really apparent when you start digging down and they're not using their own technology on their site as an agent. That's a red flag right off the bat, right?
Yep. You shared that on the
yes. Yeah, so that's like, I think Mark could probably maybe add to this.
Cool. Actually, Andrew, it's a different spin. The question I have, and maybe it's already been brought up, is what about private LLMs, and where do they fit into this conversation? Because, we look at companies, larger companies that have all of this data that they need to be able to access. It's got to stay behind a firewall. It can't be inside these large billion-dollar entities. Where do you have any insight or any thoughts or anything on that one? Because I think that's also another part of this conversation we need to have.
Well,
again, as we're out there advising.
Yeah, certainly larger organizations, at the enterprise level, because of data privacy and compliance laws, they're either building their own LLMs or, they're getting one, spun up by one of the large language model companies, but it's their own version, so Hertz may have a version of, OpenAI's ChatGPT that they're licensing from OpenAI, but it's not, it's just for them. It's their data. It's not get exposing their data outside of that environment. So yes, so
But
so
sure.
so
But sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but just within that context, before we move on, what that's great for the enterprise companies that can afford that. But what about the small and mid-sized companies? What about the franchise or the distribution companies? What about the dental offices that Andrew plays with?
It's the
Right?
cost though. That cost for the data and to run through is still the same though. You know what I mean? Because we're talking about the back end infrastructure now, right? And to run these processes. So it's coming back down to what I'm seeing across the board is about $2 a conversation across the board. And then Salesforce will, if you're on their platform, you're a client with, their CRM, Service Cloud, Pardot, all that good stuff, and then your data usage, they're going to discount it. Where these wrapper companies, they don't have that ability to discount on data yet. They don't have that volume.
Interesting.
It's
gonna be fun to see this play out. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's an ongoing conversation, and it's an important one to have. Nobody has all the answers. People are trying to look forward and look around the corners a little bit, which is why I'll go to a source like Marketing AI Institute to basically go find that Sequoia article and distill it for me, and then okay, do I want to go dive into that article? And just because somebody like Sequoia has published something doesn't mean it's gospel. It doesn't mean it's, the only answer that's out there. So it's a point of view, it's a resource. And as we go forward, we're picking up these little crumbs and we're coming to our own conclusions about where things are going to be.
Okay? Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Andrew, appreciate your input. Mark, appreciate your input as always. All right. So I'm going to get into the last part of the call, which is basically going to be going through what happened in the Chief AI Officer community this week. So we covered news. We've answered some questions. We've had great participation today. I thank you all for that. So let's take a look at what has been going on. And we are inside the AI Insider community here. And that's from a week ago. All right, so let's start just a quick overview of calls that happened this week. So as I said, we have calls every day of the week, Monday through Friday. We actually have 2 calls on Monday. The first call that we have on Monday is our real world AI tools and their use cases. So I was the guest host of this week's call. So you can go into the community, you can go to the VIP vault section over here, and you can see all the calls that happened this week. My objective here is just to give you a high level overview. And if you miss the call, get you to go, oh, okay, I didn't miss much. That's not really interesting to me. Or, ooh, that sounds interesting. I need to go catch that call. So as Segovia mentioned earlier, I think, or it might have been another call. It was on another call. Never mind. So what I did in this call was we have smart cuts, which are basically curated SOP, standard operating procedures for doing different activities using AI. So I went and I grabbed a smart cut, which was on using Runway ML, an application I had never played with. I'm not a visual guy, so I'm not into, creating picture and visual content. So I took the smart cut and on the call went through the process of walk through the smart cut and walk through how the smart cut works and how it guided me through the process of setting up Runway, going in there, how to prompt it, how to use some of the prompt enhancing capabilities that are inside Prompt Vault to help me with the content that I was generating inside Runway ML. And it was a fun call. So we're going to actually be doing more of these smart cut aligned. Mark, appreciate you. Have a great weekend. We're going to do more of these smart cut aligned calls on Mondays because we've got smart cuts and we have Prompt Vault, and those are written information. We all learn things differently. Some of us are audio, some of us are tactile, some of us are visual. So by creating videos that go along with the smart cuts, that's just another way that we can bring content and different ways for people to learn. So that was the Monday call, the first Monday call. As I said, we have a new call, which is being led by one of our fellows, Christy. And this new call is on understanding AI governance, principles and challenges. And she's taken a deep dive into this on her own. And we said, this is good content. We really, need to bring this to the community. So we talked about some of these privacy and data protection issues, safety and security concerns around misinformation and deep fakes, clear accountability and responsibility. And then there was another word that I learned on the first call that Christy did, which was explainability. So explainability is a thing and something that we need to know how to be able to do. And then we also have some other items in here about organizations balancing, innovation with ethical concerns. Again, getting into, that ethical, conversation. So privacy and data, safety and security, accountability, responsible AI, the AI governance shift and what's happening with that. So we'll see interesting things that are coming. California tried putting out a bill that the governor vetoed, having to do with some of these concerns, and other states are working on similar bills and legislation. So we'll see where that goes. But if you're interested in this particular topic, which is an important one, and it's an important one when you're having that conversation, as we just had, Mark brought up, where you go to a company and are they going to, spin up their own large language model, or are they going to be in a generally available public large language model? How do they protect their data? How do they ensure, the security of their information? Very much similar to the conversation that's happened over the last decade or so of, cloud computing and private clouds and public clouds and all those kind of things. So that was a call on two calls on Monday. So my tool call and Christie's call on governance. On Tuesday, we had our prompting essentials call with Segovia, our chief operating officer and lead prompting guru. So on the Tuesday call, he went into some different prompting methodologies, and we actually had some great audience participation, as we always do on these calls. Nicole shared some, we had Irvin and Nicole both shared some prompting frameworks. That's the word I was looking for. Some prompting frameworks. So Nicole shared the CREATE framework, which is the process of, going through and identifying the persona, what's the request, give me some, here's some examples of what I'm looking for, and then adjusting the output. Yes, all the calls are recorded and all the calls are available in the AI Insider community. That was just asked in the chat. And then Irvin brought in another acronym for another framework where he talks about, role, context, instructions, criteria, and examples. So Segovia brings a lot of domain expertise to this call. A lot of this has been flushed out through just things that we're doing internally, and that's where the Prompt Vault Studio came about. If you don't have a Prompt Vault Studio account, there is a link to go get one. It's free. If you're part of the AI Insider community, you get one. If you're not in the AI Insider community, guess what? You can go get one as well. So it's a great place to organize, optimize, and then actually run your prompts. So instead of having to write a prompt in Notepad or Word and then copy it over into the particular language model that you're using and then go back and forth, Prompt Vault Studio lets you run those prompts on different models right inside the platform. So you're not bouncing back and forth. So it's a big time saver. So if you're into prompting, if you're into learning about prompting, and how you can be better at it, the Tuesday call should be checked out. Our Wednesday call is our AI blueprint call. This is led by Wayne Clayton, another one of our fellows in the program. And Wayne's out there. He's got an agency. He's on the street every day making the business happen, and he's bringing that back. So if you are already a coach or consultant and you want to bring AI into the services that you're providing to your clients, or you're thinking of doing the AI certification program so you can go out there and be a coach or be a consultant, this is the nuts and bolts of having a business, of how do I set up the business, how do I go out and find clients, how do I have those conversations. So key takeaways, we spent a lot of time talking about the ideal customer profile that you want to identify and be able to formulate, so that you're not saying, well, I sell AI services to everyone, because if you sell it to everyone, you're going to sell it to nobody. So identifying who you're going after, what size company, how many employees, what's their revenue, how am I going to identify who the decision makers are in the organization? Those were all things that were talked about. Developing consulting strategies, overcoming sales challenges. So if this is you, if you're interested in this particular aspect, if this is where you're heading and where you're going, then the Wednesday call would be great. Thursday is our automation and workflow call. This call is usually led by another fellow, Chris Lannon, who was not able to make last night's call. So we had another one of our fellows, Andrew, step in. This was a great call. This was a lot of fun to watch.
Really good call, guys, especially towards the end. The nuggets that popped up towards the end of that call was so good.
Yeah. So Andrew's out there again, doing it, making it happen in his business. He showed us a workflow for generating content that could be generated, a lot of content that could be generated in a short period of time for posting on, let's say, Twitter or Instagram. And he did that in the platform Canva. So he shared with us the whole process of doing that. He shared with us the templates that he used, and it was a fun call. There was a nice pivot at the end of the call where Andrew started talking about the importance of of newsletters in the LinkedIn platform. So if that's something because of you, if that's something that's of interest to you, and you're active on LinkedIn, he's basically raising the flag and saying, hey, there's a land rush, there's a golden opportunity here to get in with this newsletter thing that LinkedIn is putting a lot of importance on. So that's right here, LinkedIn's new large newsletter strategy, and then a bunch of other golden nuggets. So in the call recording, you're always going to find links to the tools that were used in the recordings. You're going to find links to, Andrew shared a Google Doc with us that had a lot of information on it. In Wayne's call, he shared, a PowerPoint and a bunch of other information. So all that information is in the calls, and then we're here Friday with my call. So that is one thing I just want to show for new people that are on the call or that are watching the call later. Using the weekly calls, you can create your own mini course within Chief AI Officer. So if you're interested in building your own business, start watching all the Wednesday calls. If you want to get ramped up on prompting, watch all the Tuesday calls. If you want to learn about workflows and automation, watch all the Thursday calls. If you want to learn about governance, watch all the Monday calls. So within our community, as we're building this video library, and again, once you go into the community, just go here to Video Vault, and that's where you'll see all of the weekly training calls. You can build your own little mini course based on the particular area of subject matter that you're interested in within the program. So just a quick reminder, why do we do these calls all during the week? We do these calls because things are moving so fast. This is how we continue to bring value to people that are in our program, people that have gone through the certification program. We try to keep the content fresh and up to date. We try to curate it for you so that you're not drinking from multiple fire hoses all over the place. But this is how we keep current. This is how, Wayne's bringing back what's happening on the street. Everybody who's leading these calls are practitioners in their own right of what they're doing, and they're making the business happen every day, and they're bringing that back into the community. So this is a living, organic, evergreen learning environment where every time you jump on a call, you're going to get value. You're going to get a golden nugget. You're going to get something that's going to help, make your day better. So with that, I appreciate everybody who has stayed with me. I told you it was going to be a little bit of a longer call. If you had to jump out and you're watching the recording, I told you there would be more. So here's the more. And then I want to just check to see if there are any questions. If anybody had any question or comment that was put into the chat that didn't get addressed, I want to make sure that that gets addressed properly for you. So let me know if there's anything that didn't get addressed to the best of our ability. And then just glad you're all here. Glad you're all part of the community. Look forward to seeing you on future calls. The next call will be Monday, the Monday tool call. And if that's it, I want to wish you all a great weekend. Matt, I just saw you out of the corner of my eye, and you threw something in here. You had a question about content in the affiliate program. Could you reach out to me inside the Circle community, Matt, and I'll get that resolved for you? I did see your message go by, and just looking at your face, maybe remember it. So I want to get that addressed for you. If we have no other things that are going on, have a great weekend. Enjoy fall if it's fall where you are. Enjoy spring if it's spring where you are, Tina. And we thank you for being part of the community. Thank you for being on the call. And again, everybody, thank you for your contributions to the call. It's what makes it better.